Hi, I'm Bob Batcher, the Executive Director of Prime Plus Senior Centers, and this is Prime Time with Bob. And I'm with two very special friends with a great organization that many of you have heard. One of our members here on the show you might recognize if he were to kind of turn around on us. But Michael Carey Williams, the Executive Director for Tidewater Winds. And now I'm going to put my announcer voice on because I have pleasure of doing this multiple times every summer. Maestro John Williams, how you doing?
Hey, Bob, how are you?
I had to do it that way.
I know you did. I know you did. You couldn't resist. They know that I'm not John Williams, though. They can look at my bank account and see that I'm not
That's
John
right.
Williams.
So, John Brewington, how you doing?
I'm great, Bob.
Although
Thank
you
so
play
much.
great John Williams stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As well as
the widest variety of music that you would want to hear in any concert series.
Good.
So we do a lot of performing in the throughout Hampton Roads, and our model really is that we don't park ourselves in one place and have people come to us. We take our show kind of on the road. We travel to multiple locations throughout Hampton Roads. We've been in Portsmouth and in Chesapeake and in Norfolk, Virginia Beach. We've been to Hampton. So we performed all over, and that's what we like to do, is to make sure that we're bringing the music to the people in their own community where they're comfortable. And we've had a lot of success with that over a 30-year period now.
That's right. And oh, by the way, since you're not John Williams, I'm not paying you.
That's fine.
You've been doing it for over 30-some years, but it was the vision and dream of a really super musician, public servant, right?
Absolutely. Sidney Berg was the brainchild behind the Tidewater Winds, and it was his long-standing dream to put together a community concert group in the Sousa tradition, but to have it and with professional musicians. And that's what has made Tidewater Winds kind of unique in what we do throughout the country, because we're only one of a handful of groups that is actually a paid professional group. And Sidney was just instrumental in putting all of that together. He was the catalyst, as it were, and the driving force of putting all the programs together and coming up with the funding and finding places to play. I had the honor of playing the very first couple of seasons with the Winds. Instead of on the podium, though, I was in the back in the percussion section, and thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Tidewater Winds, because it was an opportunity for all of musicians in Hampton Roads to come out and to perform, especially when everybody else was dark. In other words, they had closed up shop at the end of May, beginning of June, and they'd take their summer break, and then they would come back in September. The Tidewater Winds for more than 30 years has filled that void of live concert music available to all of Hampton Roads.
Now, as you know, when I have the pleasure of emceeing, I love the percussion section because they always lose their instruments. They're running all over the place. They don't know where they're at. And rumor has it you came up close and personal possibly a couple of times with Sid Berg's baton, right?
On more than one occasion, that I was recognized and spotted in the back of the percussion section with Maestro Berg. He certainly was a taskmaster, but he got the best out of us, and I'll never forget those times. I'll always be grateful for those opportunities to play with him.
Michael, he mentioned something that I know is a challenge to you. You've been the executive director now for how many seasons? 2?
I think we're on 3, maybe.
You're on 3 now? But you're the one that gets tasked with walking in front of a arts commission or a potential funder and explain to them the wisdom of the business plan of having professional musicians who get paid, and your concerts cost how much?
Nothing.
They're free.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, it doesn't make a good business model, but you have to look at what the organization is providing to the communities. So an organization like this, let's face it, it's a 55-piece professional concert band. A lot of people don't get to experience that kind of power, that kind of musical strength. So making it accessible and affordable to all people is our primary goal, that people should enjoy this music. That was John Philip Sousa's dream. That was Sid Berg's dream. That's John's dream. So we want to perform, but we want the best quality we can get. That's why we pay musicians, professionals, to do that work. So you're right in that the business model is challenging. We rely heavily on donations, on community support, grant writing, new initiatives that will inform and hopefully support educational projects, not just our existing student intern program, which brings up to 23, 25 college and high school students to perform side by side with the large concert band, but also now the new models to go into school to work with bands side by side or remotely now that we're in COVID-19 to offer that continued support in a profound way. So music is something to be shared and something to be appreciated, and that's what this organization represents.
Well, John, Mike brought up the challenge of this summer, because normally July is Tidewater Winds month, and you guys are all over the region with these free concerts in venues that are now closed.
Yes.
And so you've got a band all ready to rock and roll, right?
We sure
Or
do.
John Philip Sousa.
They're chomping at the bit, as am I.
So I asked for the schedule and I didn't get one.
Well, that's because our schedule has really been postponed. The dates that we were originally going to perform are not going to be available. It looks like look, let me tell you what we are going to do instead of what we can do.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to ask you that Sid Berg question about, would he take this lying down?
Well, I'm not taking it lying down.
What are we going to do?
So we are going to reach the community how we can, and we're going to reach out and start performing with smaller ensembles. So we're going to begin to feature our brass quintet and our little big band. It's a 9-piece jazz band that has a big sound with fewer numbers. And this way, I'll be able to make sure that our musicians, as well as our audience, will be able to socially distance. And we're gonna start off by having a few, maybe even concerts that we will have, and we'll advertise them, but with limited seating to meet all of the governor's restrictions and all the different scenarios that are out there. We are certainly going to meet those guidelines, because it's, nothing's worth a life in that piece of it. So we're going to be very careful in how we proceed, but we do want to proceed, and we think that we have a good model in place. So we're going to start off with smaller ensembles and smaller audiences. We'll record those concerts, and we're going to make them available for free to our audiences on our website. And we may even have some live streaming events as well, but it's all going to be done starting with smaller ensembles and a smaller group, and with the anticipation that today we're one day closer.
Actually, boy, do I have some cool ideas. You really get out of the box
to this being behind us. Yeah. And for the rest of what we would normally do to be in front of us. And that's how we're going to proceed, and that's what we're planning.
So in the spirit of taking music to the community.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it's about.
That is what it's about for us. We are not going to sway from that mission. Okay, so if somebody has a big backyard? Sure, we'd be open to that. If somebody's got something with a little, maybe a something that we can put up a fairly, a tent of some kind to put the musicians under and outdoor seating, we could certainly look at that. I mean, that would be something we would want you to contact the office and speak to Michael Williams about. But we are certainly going to have some small performances, as I mentioned, and put together some recordings for people. We're actually looking at doing some other things, maybe broadcasting and holding some other events that using recordings that we've had from previous seasons, so that we can kind of highlight the work of the Winds and what we've done and what we intend to do in the future.
Because you really can't let that spirit of John Philip Sousa or the rest of the musicians, because going back in time, let me touch to your teacher, because you are the coordinator of all music for Virginia Beach?
Coordinator of Fine Arts, Performing Arts for Virginia Beach City Public Schools, that's right.
So I've talked about arts have survived anything that the civilization has thrown out. Dark Ages, bubonic plague, the whole 9 years. And it wasn't because they sat back and said, this is how I want it, but really there was this recreation multiple times. So we have a chance to do that now, don't we?
Absolutely. And that's how we're, as terrible as this pandemic is, and as much as this has separated everybody, it's not going to keep us apart.
No.
It's just not. And music and our cultural heritage is something that we all recognize. This is something that is helping people through this pandemic. And I'll tell you, since you asked me to put on my school teacher hat for a moment, I will, in that, we use music from really March 3 of this year, March 13, I should say, going forward, as a way to meet the social emotional needs of our students. It was more important that we reach those kids and reach out to kids to let them have a sense of normalcy with their music teacher and doing something that is culturally relevant and fun and meaningful in the music education world itself, but also to reach those kids where they are. And kids and adults have the same needs. People are people, and we want to be able to reach out to them and to help them get through this lockdown. And if they're not able to join us in a live event because of whatever, social distancing or the lack of our own seating capacity at some venues, because we will be limited, then we're going to reach out to them in other ways and provide some performances to them via Facebook or on our website. We are going to do this and continue to reach out in our community, not just so that the Tidewater Winds remains relevant, but so that we can help people get through this this terrible time that we're all experiencing. Super.
Mike, we got about a half a minute. If somebody has a creative idea and they want to invite you guys, how do they get a hold of you?
Yes. So in this time, it's really important to use our website.
Okay.
Go to www.tidewaterwinds.org. Call us on our office number 480-0953, or email us directly. You can email me directly at executivetww@gmail.com. We have a lot of things coming up, even though we're in this situation. September 24th is our golf tournament at Heron Ridge. We hope to see everybody out there. It's going to be safe and comfortable, but we need to raise money to move forward. And we also have online, you can still buy Tidewater Winds t-shirts. You can have your own. And
all right.
Very fashionable. We're looking good in them. So anything you can do to help the organization, but we also want Tidewater Winds to help you. So that's symbiotic relationship. We're here for you, and we are also hoping that what we provide will fill you.
Well, thank you, guys. I am so glad that Maestro Brewington showed up instead of that other guy. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to seeing a concert this summer. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Very good.